up and travel beyond the illusion. What is the mirror of your life reflecting around you now, and what does it mean? Master Lady Kira Raa leads you on a journey of enlightened perspectives as she weaves together the elements waiting to be revealed and often not seen. A fascinating and dynamic hour that will leave your heart smiling and your soul singing. And of course, Kira Raa's famous mini soul readings. Be sure to call in. And now, here is Master Lady Kira Raa.
Namaste, beloved ones, and welcome to such a special moment here, not just on Soul Mirrors, for the planet, this very moment. And I know your heart feels it, and I know that's why you're here with us right now, because I'm just going to slide away a little bit and let you remember this. There's a part of me that's going, remember this? This is, of course, that beautiful chalice, that beautiful divine feminine energy that started really coming in and really calling to us way back last July. Remember that? And this is that chalice opening in the Black Cave in Chobchi, where Shri and I and our beloved journeyers that were just with us and just left from Tosa Blue Mountain. Matter of fact, 3 of them still here tonight. Hi, guys, down in the living room. This is where we just were. And so it's a profound moment, because as this Mercury retrograde has ignited this incredible mirror, the divine feminine is riding in the Navratri of Durga saying, I am here. This is a healing opportunity unlike one that has ever been. We are 12 days from the October 31 experience, and I know that tonight we are all here because it's just that amazing. And so I first and foremost want to welcome you all. Thank you for being here. I want to give a big shout out over to all of the YouTube channels, both over at Official Shri and Kira, over at Oneness Talk Radio, over at YouTube, over at bbsradio.com, and of course over at Oneness Talk Radio, all of the affiliates, including iHeart. Thank you for the blessing of being here with us right now. Now, tonight, you really want to get in the queue, because tonight there's a lot to be talking about. So remember our 800 number. You get on the air over there, get a hold of our producer, and he'll ask you your questions. 888-627-6008, 888-627-6008. You want to get into the queue over there. Those lines fill fast, so write down that number. If you call and there's a busy signal, it just means they're full. So hold on to it, and after we take our first caller, you can get in there. You can also give a call over to 517-208-1500. Again, that's 517-208-1500, where you can get into the queue at Oneness Talk Radio. Now, guys, I want to jump into it because there's a lot to talk about. And it really all is so synergistically coming together. Even how my very special guest, who's going to be featured in a wonderful segment we're offering this evening, who has put together something that is so timely and so perfect and so embodying of the divine feminine coming forward. And so I'm very excited for you to all meet Alison Palmer, who I had the absolute divine presence of meeting when she invited me to be part of this incredible opportunity and program that is going on right now. If you have not registered, it's already happening. And so we'll be talking about that as well, because I'm up tomorrow if you want to see that video, which I would hope you do. And so I want to take us back right now, because this chalice rising again in this week right now is beyond the mind of form, even beginning to call in the presence and the radiance that has come forward before us. So the best way that I can remind you all of this is, let me share some screens with you. And the first one I want to share with you is, of course, the October up-level calendar. So hopefully you saw Shri and Kira Live on Sunday. Shri and I have been talking about this, but this moment right now is that divine feminine moment rising. And if you look, so we're through this Mercury retrograde, this beautiful illumination. It's open. And this retrograde is a mirror. It is a radiance. And it came in the middle of this super new moon up-level event. And that illumination, that radiance is open for us all the way through until early December. And here's the gift. You notice that if you really dive into that calendar, the way that this month's graphic was positioned is that we are in the moment now where we are in the center. you imagine that you are in the center of your own divine temple, and you are very clear that you are there. And to be in the center means that you have that harmonic balance, that you, the still center of the equilateral cross, the perfect balance. And between right now, and it started on the 16th, all the way until we get to the 31st, we are in the middle in this co-creative, incredible illuminated moment that is radiating in front of us everything that is true. This is the gift of October, is that the truth is being revealed, and it's how you meet that truth. Tonight, right now, we are 12 days from the October 31 experience. And I want you to notice on the calendar, the date's not even on there. And the reason for this, if you've been following the shows, is because the energy of November and December is one unit. And the reason this is so important to remember is because of this time compression. This is why the rising divine feminine right now is being called to action. It's not just about the voice. It's about, what are you doing with that voice? How are you bringing that voice out there? Is it, are you really paying attention to that? Are you doing it because it's just the right thing to do? That's where we're at. We are at the moment where everything we've talked about, everything we've said we were, everything we've thought about is in our face. And so who are you? What is your mirror reflecting? Many, many years ago, when Sri and I first got out there, one of the things that I used to love about Archangel Zadkiel was the reminder that you will never be known by your words. You will never be known by anything except the emanation of your energy field, that which you can't lie about, because oftentimes we limit our own expansion by spiritualizing our own ego and giving it wonderful language. And yet deep within, there is still that sense, that knowing that there is more. Or there is this incredible sense of expansion and joy in doing exactly what you're doing, because that is where you want to be. So let me make sure I didn't confuse you on that. We are all being called right now into an up level that we have never done before, that requires us to go beyond the mind of density and to fully embrace our consciousness. Einstein, my beloved, the one I'm constantly quoting, problems like this will never be solved at the level of consciousness that created them. The moment at hand is the moment of consciousness. It is the moment of nakedly stepping out of whatever cloak you're wearing and remembering who you are. And if you're connecting with this show, you already are. And as you remember the truth of who you are, then you start also seeing those that you never saw before. You connect with those that you've never connected with before. We recently had a beautiful young man here from New York who I just adore, and you know who you are. And he looked at me, and it was so beautiful because it really helped me remember. And he said, I didn't know people like you existed. I didn't know a place like this existed. I didn't know I could ever feel this way. I didn't know I could ever smell air like this, eat food that tasted like this. And, he lives in New York City. And I share this with you because we are at the moment where it is from our full well, from saying yes in the radiance of this Mercury retrograde, in the radiance of this moment, that will bring us all to the time compression. And I know this is wild to hear, but we have to talk about it. That will bring us to this time compression and the time out of time, which is the day when it begins till when it ends, that full cycle, right? That full cycle around the whole planet of October 31. Because on that day, the guidance that we are inviting you to check in with is that it will be a moment where the energy, the way I've been describing it, let me back up. The way I've been describing it is, imagine that we were being scanned, right? Imagine there's a drone, right? There's this universal drone. This is just for kicks, right? So imagine there's this universal drone scanning the planet, and you will never be known by your words. You'll be known by your energy. So imagine that that's happening from sunup to sundown, wherever you are on that day, October 31. So what if you could give yourself and the planet the gift of taking that one day, even though it's Halloween, from sunup just until sundown, no technology, none. Reconnect with you. Take a walk, take a bubble bath, be in silence, but it doesn't mean you're not communicative. Be presence. Take that moment and let's collectively send the signal that consciousness is waking through the distraction. Things like living in multidimensional space, things like working with timelines. I know, believe me, I was one of you. I know what it sounds like until you start living it. And this has been the greatest revelation for Shri and I, especially over the past few weeks. We've been blessed. We've had so many people here at Toasted Blue Mountain, is that so many here are getting to witness what living this work is about. Not teaching it, not talking about it, not doing it to make money from it, living it. We live it. This is who we are. And everyone who comes here is shocked. This is who we are. This is what we do. And the gift, and we pray what we are modeling for you in this big, beautiful, open mirror of Mercury right now, is that together right now, you are living your best life as well. You are letting yourself be you. You know, every Monday night we gather for these amazing Zoom calls. Our community gets together. And if you don't know about it, check it out. It's at shriandkira.com, right there on the homepage, Monday Magic. And right now we're unlocking these keys to this galactic encyclopedia. And every Monday when we get together, there is such a gift of mastery and connection. And this heartbeat that raises and says, okay, we are at a moment where everything has shifted. So let's just put that one out there. Everything has shifted. Awesome. Awesome. You know, I remember, and forgive me, it's tongue in cheek, but I remember my first divorce, and I was driving away. I was living in Arizona at the time, and I was driving away in I loved this car. It was a custom conversion Toyota Corolla convertible, yellow with this Mercedes canvas top on it. And I felt amazing because it was like, okay, wow, I did it. And I had what I had in my car, and I had my car, and I had the top down, and I had no idea where I was going next. And I was so young. I was 22 years old, and I'd already been married and divorced and had a career. And all I knew was that that was a moment to really say yes to a brighter tomorrow. And that's the moment we're in right now. We are right now in one of the greatest healing opportunities that has ever been. And this healing opportunity is one that can come very rapidly, very easily, very effortlessly when we relax the need to control it and we just be it. Many of you have witnessed myself and my husband over the past year. You've witnessed what's happened to me and the reverse aging that's happened and the way my body has literally reshaped. Same thing with my husband. You're witnessing that in the people around us. We are at a moment where remembering that the time is fluid is not sci-fi. It's not woo-woo. It's not out there. There is science, if based on where you are on that dynamic, but there is science that can document what has been happening, working within quantum space and how that is happening. So I want to show you a model. I'm going to show you this again right now. If you were with us on Sunday, you saw this. And I want to go through it again very, very slowly, because I think it's really important for you to really pay attention to what this is and what is happening here. And forgive me, over at the other call board, you are now live. Forgive me, I forgot. Okay. This is the current time compression. Now, as you're sitting there going, Kira, what the heck are you talking about? Let's just go slowly again. The chalice has opened. That chalice first came in June 2020. We talked all about that. Go back to our YouTube channel, watch all of those videos, one each, listen to those. But in August, the chalice integrated into us. We became the chalice as that discus of Vishnu opened up this infinite potential energy. And that all happened on the Lion's Gate of 8/8. And then what happened was in September, this time compression happened. And it's a gift because it's a message. It's like this message in a bottle that's saying, look, you need to amp up. You need to be more successful right now. Meaning you need to remember more of who you are right now. You need to claim in all the wisdom, all the things you would have learned a year from now, you're going to want to have by the end of the month. And that's what happened in September 2020. In September 2020, you literally, and I always think of it as like a big trampoline, right? We bounced up and grabbed a year in advance all of our learning, our mastery, our wisdom, and we brought it all the way back in so that when we went to October 1, 2020, we were carrying with us the mastery that we would have attained staying in this linear time of experience through August 2021. So I just want you to breathe that in. And I know it can be crazy to understand, but it's important. And that's why it's important to understand because of where we're coming right now and the 12 days at hand and the healing and the divine feminine. When we look at October, where we are right now, and we talked about this on Sunday, this very week has opened up the Ascension Escalator anchoring because we're almost complete. That 7-year cycle is almost done. And what happened this month is that while we are still compressing, we're calling in all this mastery presence. The gift is that if you're awake to it and it's like, this is amazing, bring me more, is that this month we slowed down. We're still in hyper speed. We're still doing 6 days as one, 6 months as one, but we're not doing a full year. So in September, it was every day was like 12 days. Remember the intensity of September and the way things have been coming forward? Well, in October, the good news is it's only 6. It's a great thing because with the 6, you have that spaciousness because you had adapted to what was happening in September. So the creation energy is huge. You have the opportunity to really, really attain your dreams simply by relaxing the mind, relaxing the ego even more, and accepting even greater consciousness expansion. And that's what brings us to the October 31 date. And we are 12 days away from this day, March 2022. Remember, we kept going, we kept continuing. So when we go to November 1, we will have literally gone all the way through to March 2022. And this is an extremely important moment to understand because it's like the universe is staring at us all and saying, pay attention to what you're doing right now. Let go of, I can put that off. Let go of, I don't need to worry about that. I don't need to do that, or, whatever. Pay attention right now. This is the moment. It is a moment of vast healing. It is the divine feminine anchoring and that balance that is calling this in. And if you look down at the bottom, and this coming Sunday, if you watch Sri and Kira live on Sunday, I will be sharing for the first time what's coming in November and December. But here's why this is so important, guys. In November and December, it is one energy. And it comes to a standstill. So here we've been compressing, we're receiving all this amazing energy, all this amazing support and upliftment. It can be intense, but if we're open to it, wow. And then in October, we have a little more space to really go, wow, now that wow is manifesting. And then Mercury opened and put a big old mirror on it and said, who are you really? Well, in November and December, if you are ready and excited and see the blessing that you finally get to dance your dance, wow. Because the November, December energy is one energy that will amplify the 2022 awareness. Remember that if you look down at the bottom there in white, this year is an experience energy year. Your ascension energy always moves in the same cycle: awareness, experience, choice. 2020 is an experience year, which means that 2021 is going to be a critical moment for humanity. And through this time compression, we've already gone through it and pulled in whatever you've been sensing, whatever you've been feeling, whatever your attention is really noticing right now. That is the higher self presence that is sitting here with you right now, saying, if you're willing to give yourself the gift of your consciousness expanding even more, then you are right now able to do more, see more, create more, be more. This is an amazing moment. And I appreciate you all hanging with me as I shared that with you again, because again, we shared it first on Sunday. This moment right now, this 12 days till we get to October 31, is that on October 31, the 12-day countdown, which is right now, we have an opportunity to really affect the balance through our own joy and presence, and saying it's important enough to do. And again, I get the irony that it's on Halloween. That's so what it is. Look at the ultimate distraction. But from sun up to sundown, maybe there's something there for you to consider when we all have this universal scan that's saying, who's awake down there? I know where my thoughts and my consciousness will be. And so whenever we start claiming our transformation, whenever we start really saying yes to our vibrancy, whenever we start anchoring ever more mastery, healing happens. And it happens because we relax into the path of mastery and we call forward those beings around us that have been through that. Because it's always such a gift to be with others, is it not? Those that have been on the journey, understand the journey, and are thereby sharing about the journey. And this evening, I gave you a little hint earlier. I am very excited to have on the show for this wonderful segment on this divine feminine healing power that's happening right now, Alison Palmer. And Alison is an amazing being. And you guys know me in linear time. I forget how long ago it was that she reached out and invited me. I was so delighted to be a part of her amazing Future of Energy Medicine and Body Wisdom Summit that is happening literally right now. And hopefully you've clicked on all the links and you've seen the promotion and you've gone to look, because it's free. It's amazing. And it's something that Alison has really put her heart into. And the one thing that I wanted to share with Alison as I'm bringing her on right now is that, you know, can these 12 days transform your life? The answer is yes, it can, in more ways than one, because we're at that moment of transformation. And so I'm giving a shout out over to BBS. If you could bring Alison into our adventure, I'd be grateful. So we could both be seen. And so, hi, sweetheart, welcome.
Hi there. Hi, really excited to be here.
Well, thank you. I'm excited to have you here. And I want all of my viewers to know, look how gorgeous she is, right? Look how gorgeous. What time is it for you?
20 past 2 in the morning. I live
there it is. There it is. So you're just one of these 24 hours a day, you look amazing people.
Yeah, I sleep in makeup.
I got that. Yeah, I got that. And jewelry. So you are coming to us tonight from France, correct?
Yeah,
where
right.
in France are you?
I live just near the Pyrenees, so I look at these amazingly powerful mountains all day long, and the other side of the mountains is Spain, so I just feel so blessed to live here. Yeah, it's beautiful.
Wow, what a beautiful place to live. I was feeling, as you were sharing your mountains, I was feeling ours, and I'm like, let's send a bridge between these mountains. You know, I'm literally sitting in the Andes Mountains right now, and I'm like, okay, let's just bridge these beautiful apus, as we call them, and call that forward. So I want everyone to know that Alison is the host of this series that is out there right now. And I am in it. I mentioned to you tomorrow, all the links are out there. They're all over our social media. If you got our e-card tonight, there must've been 10 of them in there. Alison, what I want to know, and I think everybody would want to know, is you have put together this panel of women that are empowered, that are on top of it. And it's like you have crafted this quilt of amazing feminine energy. And I just want to know, what was your inspiration? How did this all come to be?
Oh, what a beautiful question. So,
Mm.
so I've done a lot of summits, okay, and what I do now is I just allow guidance to come, and so I feel that I was inspired as you were talking through the timelines and the changing energies and the growing awareness. I really connected into that and felt, oh yes, that really makes sense to me about how this summit came to be birthed. Um, you know, everybody's been through so much this year in ways that we couldn't possibly imagine. And we know that everything is still going on. And in a way, I love what you're, well, not in a way, I just totally appreciate your perspective on it and your understanding so that we can wipe away all the fears that threaten to come in and clog us up. And so what I wanted to do in this particular summit was to start having conversations with people around the energetic shifts that are going on so that people don't feel that stuckness, so that people don't go into fear. They don't feel alone. They really can start to relax the ego mind and move into this unknown period with grace and with hope, a bit like you being in that beautiful yellow car you were describing, just feeling so great and not knowing where you were going. I mean, that, as you said, that is possible for us now. And so my guidance really was to bring together women to have these conversations so that we could all co-create something different now. I mean, I did initially think about, well, we don't want the past to be as it was, so let's think about how we want the future to be. But as it developed, it became really apparent that, we have now, and you're talking about all this time moving and connecting all together and compressing in quantum time. And that is so perfect because we have just this moment. The future is, what is the future? We just have now. And so it's about how can we be now? What is the learning, the experience that we can have right now that is going to allow us to co-create something that is so different to how it was before? And that, I believe, is the total power of this summit. Having these conversations, allowing people to connect into I want to say a different type of energy, but really it is, as you've been saying, it's about remembering who we really are and connecting into that energy together. And I'm just so thrilled listening to you to know that this is happening in this compressed time, leading up to the 31st. It's just amazing.
Well, it's the same 12 days. Don't you love that? I was just giggling. I was just, you have no idea. When I got your materials, I was sitting at my computer. I was just laughing. And I'm like, you can't make this stuff up, right? Like these serendipities, they just keep happening and happening and happening. And it's just, I love it, and this is the gift. So I have to ask, you're so inspired. I mean, and what I love about you is that it's like, okay, I have this inspiration and then I'm really going to do it, right? I'm not just going to sit around and think about it. I'm really going to do it. So how has your inspiration always been like this? Did you go through an evolution to get to this moment? What is it that calls it in for you?
Oh, that is such a brilliant question. I used to be somebody who would think my way out of everything, no matter how brilliant an idea it was, because I really trained as an academic. So my head was the ruling thing. And so it took me years and years and years to move into a sphere where I felt I could hear the guidance and then I could trust it, or I could just act on it, knowing that I didn't know where I was going and that it would be all right. And really it was just, I think, in fact, I can't pinpoint any time when it actually shifted into that. I think it was a gradual thing. And actually, even for this summit, there was this reticence still. When I first got the guidance, there was a real reticence of, okay, well, I need to get things a bit more organized first. And then suddenly I felt this big push which said, just do it now.
So, I love it.
Just did it.
I love it.
I think that is so powerful, and it is about some sort of it's about trust, and maybe you can speak more to trust. For me, it's about trusting something. It's about trusting guidance, but it's also about moving my own energy into a trust of that essence of who I am. Is about shifting. It's a huge, massive shift that is so subtle at the same time. And I wouldn't say that I've achieved it and that I'm there and I always operate from that place, because truthfully, I'm not there. I go in and out, you know, and so it's a work in progress. So I'm excited for this time, because from everything that you've shared, it seems like there's a great opportunity to really connect to that much more powerfully. We can do that through the conversations in the summit and the 31st, which is, it's just, I love that you say, let's not have technology, because I just share this with you if you don't mind. This is the 9th summit that I have organized, and I had a little break, and then I came back, approaching them in this very much more energetic perspective in terms of the whole thing, really. And this one has been the most technologically challenged one ever. I have been, you know, it's like Mercury retrograde mirroring. People,
right.
and it keeps saying to me, who are you? How are you going to show up with yet another challenge? And I did feel like I wanted to run away from technology, but hey, you know, I didn't, because these are really important conversations to have. And I want people to be having them all over the place, not just in this summit. So, you know, the work you do is amazing too, because you're another massive conversation. Yeah, so it is a case about, you know, it's, everything's in progress, and it's about doing it now, and who, everything that's happening to you right now and to me, how do I show up in the face of that? And what does that mean for me as my essence? What does that mean for me as my essence as I show up in the summit, which is, you know, going on right now? It's such a blessing. Sometimes it doesn't feel like that, but the truth of it is, it really, really is.
Yeah. No, well, you know, the blessing is that we know we go in and out. I want to go back to that when you were sharing that, because that is really what's happening right now. And especially with, and I want to go back to the divine feminine. The divine, it is all about the divine feminine riding in and bringing the balance right now. I mean, it is, and we are in it. I mean, peak in it. And so as we, as women, and as those who are empowering their divine feminine, we are all being invited to pay attention to, what is balance looking like in our own lives? Are we allowing the distraction to pull us out of balance? Or can we have our chalice, right? Can we be the chalice? Can we fill up? And this is, it brings me to, I really want to talk about how you named your summit The Future of Energy Medicine and Body Wisdom, because as I gaze at this moment right now, to me, the divine feminine finding its balance again is the future of energy. That is energy medicine. It's the return to the balance that created the birth. We are in the middle of this massive birth. Humanity is birthing, and we are all midwives, and we are all present. And how we choose to show up right now matters. And I'm just loving you so much that you did something that matters. And I really honor you for doing that and bringing that to the planet. Thank you. Thank you.
Well, yes, I mean, this thing about it being the birthing period, I think that's so true. And I would really put a call out, you know, re-underline what you've shared there about it being action, but in a new way, and with the divine feminine coming in and guiding us, and us celebrating that energy, and this is what is going to just co-create. I think co-creating is one of the words that has really come to the fore in this whole summit, the co-creation, so that we dissolve those old hierarchies of sort of a rigid leadership where somebody knows best and everybody else just has to go along with it or feel foolish. And this is about everybody participating and being more honest in their communication with themselves and with other people, and listening, developing really beautiful listening skills so that we're not overriding people, and just that element of co-creating. You know, this is going back to way back, you know, when people co-created and when we had a different relationship with the planet as well.
Exactly.
And we're not going back because, well, we are, but we're not, because it's not like we're
remembering. I'm going to jump in. We're remembering, right? So what we're doing is we're remembering the truth of who we are. Thereby, we get the blessing of co-creating it in this timeline, in this experience, which is why we're all here. I can't think of anything more profoundly healing than really knowing that, you know, and we are all being given the blessing of living it and knowing it right now. I mean, how's that resonate for you?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. That is exactly, you know, that is exactly it, because we have this choice. As you said, we have a choice right now. We have a choice to just shrink and go into fear and isolate and yes, there are difficulties, you know, in our tangible lives. Many people are facing difficulties that they never anticipated they would have, and yet, you know, now, being in this moment, we have this choice to actually make that shift, to connect to other people, to co-create, to just dare to actually take this risk. Because for many people, for some of us, you know, we feel like, okay, yes, that feels good. But when we're up against the wall, sometimes it's really difficult to make the brave choice. And
Absolutely.
I really invite people to be so loving and kind to themselves when they feel up against the wall, so that, you know, make the best choice for you, really, that choice that really resonates with your heart and your soul, so that, you know, try it, and you're going to go backwards and forwards, and that's fine. I think the important thing in this moment of actual transition is not beating ourselves up because we feel that there's some notion of how it should be done perfectly, and there truly just isn't. There's just a way of really just that authentic connection and remembering of who we truly are, and beginning to be that presence, so that on that day when the drone goes over, as you were saying, you know, we might not be fully out there radiating as much as we have the potential to, but, you know, we can feel good about it because we'll be radiating somewhat, and that, I think, is so important. And that quality of love, just keep shining it on yourself and be so super kind.
Yeah, I love that. I love that so much. You know, it's like, love yourself more. Just no matter how much you're loving yourself, just always more, more. So speaking of more, I have all these hands over here raised. So I'm going to go over to the Oneness Talk Radio call board. Those of you that have your hands raised, meaning you have a question for us or a comment about what's going on. And I'm going to begin right here over in Cleveland, Ohio. And I'm going to say, hello, it looks like, to Astaria. Namaste. Welcome, dear one. Hi. Okay. We're going to put you back on mute and we're going to go to the next one. We have a unknown caller with their hand raised. And this is, I'm going to go set right over here and say, hello, how are you? Welcome to the show. Okay, let's see. I just want to make sure this isn't on my end of the call board, guys. I have no idea why I can't hear you, but I have no audio coming in. So my husband's coming to my rescue. This is Sri Ramka, everybody. What do I have to do? Oh, No, that was on full. All right, I'm going to try Monica. I'm going to go back to Ohio and try you again. Let's see if we hear you. Hello.
Welcome to the show.
Hey.
Hi.
Hi. Thank you, Sri Ramka. Let's all say thank you, Sri Ramka. All right. Hi, sweetheart. Technically challenged, right, Allison? Right. This moment.
Oh my goodness.
Hey,
Hello,
Monica.
Lady
Welcome,
Kira
sweetheart.
Raa.
Hi.
Hi. Hello, and to your wonderful, gorgeous colleague, Allison. How are you both?
We are well. Thank you.
Well, you said we should light up and send a beacon to the sky. So I would love a mini soul reading for my heart and how I can light it up some more.
Well, I appreciate that. And, you know, one of the things that we're all doing right now is illuminating our heart with our truth. And so I'm going to invite you to just really relax into that moment. The fact that as I'm gazing into you right now, it's like the word truth is all over you. Like you're seeing truth, you're feeling truth. You're not sure how you feel about some of it. It's all around you. But all I keep hearing is just go back to your heart and know your truth. Just go back to your heart and know your truth. And then it goes back to what Allison was just talking about earlier, trust. You're going to have to trust it, sweetheart. It's that framework of support, right? When we stay in our steadfast commitment, focused awareness, and complete trust, we become the 0 point generator that holds open that torus field of ignition, thereby igniting our consciousness into that state of non-judgmental awareness. You're almost there, or you wouldn't have asked the question or requested the reading. And so I really appreciate you bringing that level of consciousness to all of us this evening. Thank you, sweetheart.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, yes, yes.
Yes, yes,
You.
yes. We love you too. Thank you for calling. Allison, was there anything that you wanted to share regarding our caller or anything that was stimulating in you?
Oh, well, just reiterating what you're saying there about the trust, and just again, just loving yourself, going into your heart, so powerful. Trust.
Yeah.
Be.
Yeah, I love that. That right? Because the more we trust, the more we are. I always giggle that I was very blessed to have a great stepdad, you know, one of those like out of the cart, like the perfect stepdad kind of guy. And the most powerful advice he ever gave me, and I didn't really get it when he first gave it to me, was, I'll never forget, he looked me straight in the eye, you know, that kind of like dad to daughter thing. And he looked me straight in the eye and he said, just remember, never trust those who do not trust. And it has been like, it's the only thing that I ever got from any of a parent type person, but it really taught me very young the power of trust. And that no matter what happens, how many do you know? I know a lot of them. And when we talk about healing, I think the consciousness that's healing is also part of it. And the way that we're calling in all of these levels of healing. But, you know, how many people have been through so much that they don't trust anymore? And they want to. You know, they want to love, and they're in so much pain. And it's like, I really want to love, but I will not be hurt again. I will not let anything out. I can never trust again. That to me is the knife in the heart, you know, because when we say we can never trust again, we cut off our connection to the divine in whatever experience of that we are having, because each experience is the experience of your soul's aspect. They are all valid. And so as we do that right now, as that knife is going into the heart of so many, this is again why I feel what you're doing and have brought together is so important, because true healing is when we begin to trust ourselves. I mean, how does that resonate with you?
Absolutely. You know, couldn't have put it better. It's just my experiences. As actually, when you were talking, I was thinking, it's almost like a weapon,
Right?
It's against all the negative energy and the dominating energy that is really rampant at the moment. I mean, I feel that the way things were are going into this intense sort of death throw energetically, and if we just shift into that real trust and knowing that the trust is opening to the divine, who we truly are, that is just, it's just the most amazing, powerful weapon. I'll say it again, but I don't really want to say weapon. So powerful opportunity that we have to actually shift things for ourselves, but also just for everything in the world, for the universe, for beyond. You know, imagine if everybody on the 31st of October just shifted into that energy.
I can actually imagine that. And so I will hold that because whether we're conscious of it or not, we're going to shift anyway. And that's the blessing, is that, you know, that the way that ascension energy works, right? It's awareness, experience, choice, and it just keeps spiraling. Awareness, experience, choice. And sometimes your awareness, experience, and choice are lateral, and sometimes they're taking you higher, and sometimes they're not, but you're still in the spiral. And so, you know, the gift is that when we do become very much, you know, aware of what you weren't aware of, when your eyes really open to the bigger picture, and you begin to become ever more conscious. That's what we refer to as multidimensional space. When you are able to lift into a greater sense of compassion that is fueled by that compassion for the self, thereby seeing the broader view, keeping the bigger picture, thereby becoming the witnesser of the witness, which then invokes becoming the witnessing energy of the non-judgment of that witnesser and the witness. And this is the moment we're in, and that's the healing. And this is where, when we bring, you know, this is why Oneness Talk Radio is such an important gift, because all voices deserve to be heard. And when we can come together, you know, together we are better. When we can synergize, when we can listen and sit and be and receive, that's the divine feminine in her greatest power. And I just want to again bow before you and say thank you for bringing her greatest power forward in one of the most critical 12 days we have. Love that serendipity. And so for those people that haven't clicked on anything, please tell me where they can go to the website right now, because guys, this is free. It's happening right now. If you haven't gone there, I don't even know why. So here's another way you can go.
Okay, so so I've got it written down here. So you go to www.fullcirclewomen, that's women with an E, not an A, women.com/EMBW, which stands for Energy, Medicine, Body, Wisdom. And then there's a little line, I don't know what it's called, a little line like that, like a negative sign. Fall 20, so fall 20.
Perfect.
And that will take you to the page where you can register. Now we've just started, and you know, these conversations that we've had, they are totally so amazing and powerful. And you can join in with exercises that we do, and they're just going to be transformational, especially as they're happening right now. Truly, I had no idea, but I trusted, and I just took the action as I was prompted to do, even though it was a little bit of a whispering that got a bit stronger. And I took the action, and see what happens. You know, it's happening in these 12 days.
Yeah, it really is. And Alison, thank you. I really look forward to collaborating with you again, because you are just a joy. And I'm just so grateful for what you're doing. And thank you with all my heart. I'm so glad you were with us this evening. Thank you so much, my love. Thank you. Namaste. Many blessings. Thank you, honey. All right, my angels, here we are. And so I want to continue right now going to the phones. I see that a lot of you are over here waiting. And so I'm going to run right over. I'm going to go back to our wireless caller that had her hand up. Hey, wireless caller that had her hand up. Welcome to the show. Okay. This time I know it's not me. I'm really sure of that. All right. Well, then I want to go back, and we'll go right over here to, it looks like Fair Oaks, California. Namaste, Fair Oaks, California. Welcome.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Hi.
Thank you, honey. All right.
Well, I hear the radio, but I don't hear you. So maybe turn down your radio.
Right now, going to the phone. see that a lot of you are.
Okay, sweetheart, I'm going to have to say goodbye. All right, next person, you're the one that's supposed to be on the phone with us right now. We're going to go to, it looks like Illinois. Namaste, Illinois, and welcome.
Hi, Kara. This is Gary.
Hey, Gary. Namaste, sweetheart. Welcome. I'm glad you're here.
Me too. It's been a while. I'm glad to be with you. I'm actually down in Florida with my mom. I'm going to paint my grandma's house down here.
Nice.
But I wanted to say I love you guys. Obviously, I love everyone on chat and anyone in this family.
Thank you.
Glad to be with you.
Thank you, sweetheart. It's always glad to have you here with us.
Well, thank you. I was hoping I could get a mini soul reading from you, seeing that last year you gave me one on my birthday and it's already come to pass a long time ago.
Okay. Wow.
I was telling people on chat, and my wife and I talk about it all the time. You guys are more accurate on energies than the weather people are with radars. It's unreal.
Oh, thank you, Angel. Well, you know, my heart is just smiling. I want you to hear how much I really appreciate that sharing. My heart receives that with so much love. And I send that love back to you and your wife exponentially, because when we connect with truth, when we connect with the energy that we are, that, you know, it's like Tesla, right? He was right there. We all know how to do this. And together we are better, and we are each awakening that right now. And that's that it makes me smile, because your comment really is that affirmation that when we relax into who we are, of course, the truth is always shared. And I first and foremost want to thank you for the honor of offering you a mini soul reading. And I'm smiling because all these beings around you right now, it was precious. When you said hello, they were like, oh, there he is. Like, right now, your voice as one who is carrying such profound awake energy, it's really important for you to start loving you a little more right now, Gary. They're saying that you are ready to flourish in a way that you have been thinking of, and that it's really time for you to pay attention to what's been, it's like I'm seeing you guys have been like on this journey, so to speak, and they're saying pay attention to where that bird is taking you. And when you do, you're going to see that there's something opening up in front of you that you've been thinking of, but it's opening up just a little differently. But it's about, and the universe just wants you to hear how much they love you. They're saying, stay the course. Do not give up. You are right there. It's like it's right there. And so thank you for bringing this beautiful, benevolent, masculine energy into the show tonight. Thank you for bringing your love, your sincerity, and your presence. I thank you and your wife for saying yes to who you are, and just stay the course. You're right there. And so it is.
Oh, Kara, I will never, ever turn my back, ever. It will not happen.
Aww.
There's no way possible. When you listen, September, you said that, you know, Density was going to try its hardest to get our attention or pull us off track or whatever. And it was unbelievable how accurate you were, and what unfolded. It was unbelievable. I mean, I lost a grandson.
Oh,
he was 1 year old in September. And it was wild, because I called Soul Mirrors before I got on the airplane to come down to the funeral. And I told Lynn before I got on the phone, I said, if I don't connect with Kira, then this is the universe telling me I'm ready to master through anything, and I can do this without just doing it. And I didn't get through, and I got on the phone. I told her, I said, well, my soul's talking to me, so I'm going. I'm just going to walk through this, and I'm going to shine. And I came down here, and that's exactly what I did. I spoke at his funeral. I was on the plane. I told Carson, I said, so if you want me to tell the story that how I started my awakening to your parents, my son and your mother, so they can hear this, and anyone else that needs to hear it, you just make it possible, and I'll do it. And I didn't go with any intention that if it showed itself, I was going to do what I was going to do. And it actually came to pass, man. The preacher was done speaking. He said, would anyone like to speak? And I looked around, no one raised their hand, so I stood up and went and grabbed the microphone and did what I did. And that was for my grandson. And after I was done, the preacher, he got back on the microphone and he said, and as my new friend has told you, we are eternal divine beings. And he went and said his endings. It was beautiful.
Gary, I
But
want you
thank
to,
you guys for helping me walk through stuff like that.
Gary, thank you right now for everything you have just done for this whole community. And you and I are going to say goodnight together because we're out of time. But I want you to hear one thing: steadfast commitment, focused awareness, complete trust. That beautiful being, wow, what an ascended being. That being came in to help you become a master, and everyone who was there, and you heard the call and you did it. I am applauding you. That is the moment at hand. And my arms, and I know all the arms of this community are around you and bowing before you. And to all of you, Gary and I love you. We all love you. Thank you for supporting Soul Mirrors. Have a beautiful, beautiful week. I love you so much. Make sure you're with us on Sunday. We've got a lot to share. Good night, everyone.
Namaste.
Namaste. Love we love you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for joining us, and be sure to tune in every Tuesday at 5:00 p.m. for more adventures. You can learn more about Master Lady Kira Raa at shriandkira.com or visit their YouTube channel, Official Shri and Kira. May your heart in all ways know the Master you are.